folks, Christopher German here for Sunshine News, and this is Coffee with the Candidates. We have been doing a whole bunch of different conversations here at the Waffle Hut, home of the Smash Burger, and we have all kinds of information that we're sharing with the world because, quite frankly, we have an election coming up. We got a primary happening in May, and then after that is going to be a big election in November, and who knows who's going to make it past the primary, and who knows who's going to make it on to the next one, but we're trying to get all the information out there so that everybody understands what's happening with the politics here in Klamath County. Now today we're taking on the sheriff's race. This is our first candidate we've actually interviewed about the sheriff's race, but we talked to him a little bit before when we, my last venture where I was at interviewing candidates, but we're going to update things a little bit and find out where he's at in the whole campaign process right now. So without further ado, please let me introduce you to Daren Krag. Daren, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I am doing very, very well. Thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
Well, we're trying to keep this conversational. We don't want to go too crazy and, you know, but we would like to know the man behind the candidate, you know, and quite frankly, I don't think there's a lot of opportunity for that in this community to do all that. So
doesn't seem to be. So I look forward to it. What do we want to talk about?
Let's chat, shall we?
Let's talk.
Okay. So tell me, how's it going in the campaign? What's happening? You're going for sheriff.
Yes.
You're one of the first ones that filed. I think you were the first one that filed.
I was the first one, yeah.
And it's been a long time since we talked to you last. So what's been happening?
Well, when we talked last, I was the only one running, and currently...
Holy cow, did it explode after that?
We got 7 more that have jumped in here, so that's changed. Things are going really well. I'm really busy.
Good.
And working my real job and then also campaigning is it's a lot. So, but I'm busy, going to lots of different places, talking to lots of different people. I've been exploring different funding options. There's just a lot of things that I'm looking at. I'm trying to come up with some creative ways to basically help the sheriff's office. You know, it's not the sheriff's job to fund the office, but I think it's kind of incumbent on us to help defray some of the costs and bring some money in and ease the burden. So there's just a lot of things that I'm super excited about. I've had a lot of help from other agencies. Jackson County has been amazing. I've been friends with a number of folks over there for years, and they do a lot of things very well, and they're willing to show me how they got where they got.
If you can't do it yourself, learn from others, right?
I don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of people doing it better. So, yeah.
Outstanding, outstanding. So tell me, where are you at in, obviously your platforms have evolved over the last couple months and things have changed and whatnot. Where are you at with all of the different functions and fascinations that are happening in the sheriff's office?
I'm sticking to what I know.
Okay.
I'm sticking to me. I'm not following anybody else's campaign. I'm doing my own thing. It appears that there are a number of people that are copying what I'm doing, and that's fine.
Emulation is the highest form of admiration. Is that it?
Something like that. Yeah. So, really, and I'm not going to change this. The focus, the first thing that has to happen is we have to heal the office and stop the. You know, we talked about this last time. The mass exodus of people walking out the doors after we've trained them, and you know that has to stop. And once we stabilize that office, and I know that I can do that, then we can start working on the other issues. But until we stop, I mean, how do we do 24-hour staffing? How do we do rural patrols? All of that stuff we can do, but it's going to be contingent on stability in the office. And people, again, need to be valued and respected, and we need to change what's happening right now. I mean, the culture in our office is toxic, and this has to be the priority. You know, we can talk about, you know, there's a bunch of things that I want to do. You know, I'm a huge proponent of bringing in outside money to help the agency. Again, I did a video about that a week or so ago. I spent a lot of time with the command staff in Jackson County. There are so many opportunities to fund rural patrols, to fund equipment, vehicles, staffing levels. We can bring money in that essentially would pay 75% of a new hire or a lateral deputy for 3 years, up to $125,000. We would be on the hook, so we have to keep those people employed for 5 years. But you know, it gives us 3 years. It gives us a big cushion. There are tons of things. The traffic. I'm getting ready to do a video on the traffic situation, traffic team. That's one of the big complaints that I've heard over the years, and I'm going to have a dedicated traffic team. And again, people are trying to throw money at people, at agencies, and we're not utilizing it. So, rural patrols. Again, we need to get out where we're not seen. We have to work on the relationship that we have with our communities. I don't believe that there's a lot of damage that's been done. There's a lack of trust, and it's deserved, in my opinion. And so we stabilize the office. You know, we work on regaining or building trust with our partners, with communities, with everybody. And it's going to be an uphill battle because there's a lot of damage that's been done.
Well, talk to me about the rural patrols a little bit. I mean, that's one of the things. I did an interview earlier today when we were talking about Chiloquin and the issue with I mean, it's a tiny little town. It's only got 700 people in it, but it has the highest murder capital in the state of Oregon. And then, I mean, there's all these remote sections of a 6,200-mile county. I mean, we have to have more people to go more places. How can we do that?
Well, again, you know, I firmly believe it's going to come with the stabilization and retaining the people that we're hiring and bringing into the office. We also are going to have to restore the trust of the commissioners. That's where our funding's coming from our county commissioners. Are they going to be willing to spend the money to increase staffing? And there's, like I said, there's so many things that have to happen, but we have to show that we're responsible and worthy of that trust. When I first got here 19 years ago, we had RPT, or rural patrol teams, and we absolutely need to get back to doing that, dedicating people to the outlying areas, and it's entirely possible. It's doable. But again, I mean, there are other candidates that are saying that, you know, we can do it right now, and I've tried, and all that. That may be true, but we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know what our office is going to look like in January when somebody else takes over. A lot of things. It seems like every time we get to a certain level, and we get just a tiny bit of stability, then we lose 1, 2, or 3 people, and we're right back into that cycle of trying to fill voids with overtime and moving people from shift to shift. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done before we can get there.
Well, then, what's good in the future? What do we have to look forward to?
We have a really good group of deputies, and they're all young. And they're all
going to stick around for a while, we hope.
And we're gonna get to keep them for a long time. I mean, you know, the dynamics of the office have changed tremendously from when I got here. I came in here, and you know, I had the good fortune to have a lot of mentors that have been here for many, many, many years. So we have a young group of people. They're good. They just need some leadership, and I think once we build on that, we're going to have a group of people that stay here for a long time, and we can build off of that. I'm super excited about what that's going to look like. You know, the things I want to do. You know, I want deputies out of their cars. I want them going into the stores, buying a cup of coffee. I want them talking to people. Back when, I was a kid, you knew the local PD, you knew the local officers, and they were approachable and somebody that you looked up to. Now, society's changed a little bit, obviously, but I don't think we do a very good job of getting out and making sure people know who we are. Mm-hmm. And they just need to have that example set. It's going to be a good crew.
Good.
So there's a tremendous opportunity here.
Good. Got that working for us at least.
Absolutely.
Outstanding. Well, talk to me a little bit about Derek DeGroot, a couple weeks ago in the county commission meeting, said that we are running out of money. We have a flat budget. Our revenues are not keeping up with our expenditures. With that information that came out in that meeting, what does it look like for the future of the Sheriff's Department when it's relying upon the funding from the county commission, which says it just doesn't have the money to do things?
Well, and that, again, is one of... so when I ran last time, I spent a lot of time with Sheriff Tex Dowdy in Modoc County. They had an amazing grant writer there. It's a small sheriff's office, and they were able to bring in a lot of money. And I initially thought, well, I need to have a grant writer to help offset some of these shortfalls. And talking to Jackson County and command staff and looking at some of the things that they're doing, they're bringing in a tremendous amount of money. They're helping out their county commissioners and the bottom line on their budgets by the funding that they're bringing in. And it turns out that they don't have basically a full-time grant writer. They have command staff. They have one in particular that's very, very good at researching and looking at opportunities for that agency. And I think that we may not need to hire a full-time grant writer. Maybe it's somebody from the office that wants to step up and can specialize in this. I'm looking for every opportunity, whether it's with my traffic team and state funding and government funding coming in to help finance the traffic team. I want to do the same thing there are billions of dollars out there. And this is not the be-all, end-all solution, right? But this is at least an opportunity for us to help bridge some of those shortfalls.
Okay. Well, there was one big difference between the last time we talked and this time, and that's Measure 110. Okay. Measure 110 was the rule of the law back then. Now it's not anymore. What does your future look like in terms of policing this county now that drugs are illegal again?
I don't think, we'll go back to, we kind of went through a period of time where there wasn't a lot of enforcement. And you got to understand that if somebody's got drugs on them and the citation's less than a traffic citation, there's not a lot of incentive. There's not a lot of being shorthanded. Do we spend a lot of time on this? And the answer was no, obviously. I think we need to work back into that. It's, again, I think it comes down to staffing and what the future looks like.
Well, I would think that there's got to be some kind of opportunities coming down the line with respect to with treatment and with interdiction and with all these with the new policies that are coming out of this new war on drugs, quote unquote. There's got to be some opportunities there for the Sheriff's Department to get rid of some of these drugs in this community and really make this place look a little bit better, I would think.
And I would hope that we would have be able to establish or grow relationships with our community partners, whether it be treatment or those types of programs that are out there. What can we do to try and make the focus on treatment rather than, obviously incarceration doesn't work. I mean, you can't, I come from, I'll tell on myself, I come from a family that that had alcohol issues over the years, and I've been around it my whole life. You cannot force somebody to change unless they're willing to change on their own. It has to be their decision. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for treatment programs, for counseling that are out there that maybe will help turn the corner. But it's a huge problem. It's not going to be, I mean, how long have we been doing this? You know, I remember the President Reagan and the say no to
just say no.
Yeah, I mean,
just say no.
It's not a simple. I wish I had all the answers. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
Well, you know this better than anybody else, I imagine. There's definitely a feeling that this part of the world doesn't get the same attention that, say, the Portlands get or the Bends get. Is that possible that, you know, the sheriff's office could fight for a better positioning in the terms of state funding, in terms of getting the resources that we need here? Could the sheriff really take that on as a role?
I think it's a possibility. But again, we're going to have to, this is going to be an effort that's going to have to be between the sheriff, the county commissioners, all of the local government agencies are going to all be having to work towards the same goal. So first of all, we're going to have to fix whatever issues we have with each other, and I know that there are a lot going on right now. Really, truly looking forward to everybody sitting down and coming up with a game plan, what's best for our communities. So, yeah, again, it's a hugely complex issue. You know, when you start talking funding, everybody always throws out the levies and those types of things. I'm not even interested in talking about anything like that. We've got so far to go right now, basically healing and regaining the trust of the community. Those items are not even worth talking about. Nothing's ever going to pass. Asking more people for money with the level of services that they've gotten, it would be it'd be futile. So.
Yeah. So tell me about, obviously there's going to be some changes at the Board of Commissioners. We got, Dave Hensley's not going to be there in the new year. Right. Derek DeGroot may or may not be there. We don't know what's happening in that race. And Kelly Minty will be there. But we could have two, maybe one, maybe two new commissioners on there. That could really change the dynamic of the way that board works. If you were sheriff, what do you think of a new board working with a new board? Well,
I think it's going to be great. Obviously, there's going to be a huge learning curve. I mean, if we have new commissioners, they're going to be new to the job. If I'm your sheriff, I'm going to be new to the job. A lot of us are going to be kind of behind the eight ball on this, but I've talked with several of the candidates, especially about the outside funding. Everybody's been very supportive of that. I think this is a huge opportunity to make some good changes. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, from the conversation that you've had with the other candidates, whoever gets the jobs, are you getting a sense of optimism that everybody can work together and we can really start making this place sing?
Yeah, I am. And you know how long that lasts, right?
Well, until about January 2nd, maybe.
Yeah. We're all going to have to work really, really hard, you know, to establish, you know, the trust and the respect. All of that's going to be, it's going to take some time, you know. We've got a pretty contentious history going on the last couple of administrations. So, you know, again, it's an opportunity for a fresh start, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you've talked to a lot of voters. What do the voters say to you?
Well, which ones?
The ones who obviously like you, I hope.
So I think there's a lot of optimism. They're looking forward to a positive change and seeing our office heal, stabilize, and grow. And I truly want to grow that office. I think that we're kind of stuck in the past, and I'd like to take it from basically a small town sheriff's office to something that's innovative, and there are other agencies that I truly respect that are doing amazing things, and that's what I want for our office. And I really truly think it's doable, and I have to get in the door and to start all this. So there's a really positive, people are looking for change, they're looking for something new, and I think I bring that. So I haven't heard a lot of negative stuff. I mean, there are things that people are frustrated with, but I think all of those are fixable. It's just going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, and we'll get through it.
Well, then, if somebody wants to support you, how do they get hold of you?
So I have a Daren Krag for Sheriff Facebook page. I have a website. My phone number is 541-891-8110. That's the phone that I have now. That's the phone that I'll have when I'm the sheriff. I've given out that number for years. People are very respectful. When they call me, it's for something that they have concerns about. I'll go anywhere. I'll talk to anybody. But keep in mind that I do have a full-time job, and trying to balance running a campaign with providing the services that I'm supposed to be providing to the county is challenging at times.
I bet, yeah.
But I'm willing to take days off, vacation, whatever I need to do. So if people want to talk to me, I am absolutely available.
Well, Daren Krag, thank you so much for being here today.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for, let me shake your hand.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for watching, because this is the time, folks. We've got a chance to really take command of what's going to happen in Klamath County for the years ahead, and we have a lot of great candidates running. We've talked to some of them. We're going to talk to all of them, I hope, very soon. But we're doing this over cups of coffee here at the Waffle Hut, home of the Smash Burger, and I thank you for watching. We'll be back next week. We got more people to talk to. We're going to call it for this week, but this has been an absolute wonderful conversation, and I hope you've enjoyed the interviews we had this week, and we'll have more on the way. So I'm Chris German for the Sunshine News. This is Coffee with the Candidates, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.